In this lesson, let's talk about the best categories to sell in. I get this question very often. Everyone wants to know, Greg, what's the best category to sell in? Tell me that secret category no one else knows about. And the truth of the matter is there are categories that I like better than others, but get it out of your head that there's some kind of secret category that no one else knows about. And it's way better than the rest of them, whatever else, all right? But I want to walk you through a few of the categories that I like to sell in. And the frame of mind that I'm using when I'm deciding about these is, like I said earlier, I don't want products that are really complicated. So a lot of the electronics products, those are very complicated. They break a lot, they get a lot of returns. Anything else like that are usually pretty complicated type products. I also don't really like selling products that go on your body or in your body. Now, there are some Amazon sellers that do really well with supplements and a bunch of other stuff like that. Me personally, I prefer to just stay away from those. I've tried like a few of them. I've never really had that much success. Whereas this method that I am teaching you, it is, at least for me, I think the best and I've had the most success with, all right? I also stay away from products that there's typically a high customer loyalty to brands. So Amazon's like the one category that they don't do very well is apparel. And I think like part of this is because more and more people are selling private label items on Amazon. And I think they're actually doing quite well because you get like a high quality product for a low price, which everyone really appreciates. But items like clothing or shoes or bags or other types of products that consumers seem to care a lot about what the brand is, those tend to not do as well on Amazon, so I tend to stay away from them. So I'm going to share my screen of the product database, and this is a Jungle Scout tool that has rebuilt Amazon's catalog in such a way that's user-friendly for sellers to search through. So it's really, really cool. I'm going to show you how I use it in the next video, but it's also just a great way to go through and look at each of these categories. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So let's just go through each of these. I'm going to tell you a little bit about like why I like them or why I don't like them. And then I'm going to give you a few kind of warnings about what categories are gated. Now, just because they're gated doesn't mean you have to stay away from them. That being said though, it is just one extra step. So it's something to think about if you choose to sell those, okay? So big picture here, I'm looking for products that I can private label, right? So I'm gonna order these straight from a factory. I'm not talking about like media items. I'm not talking about products that people care a lot about the brand. I'm talking about these products that work well for me to private label and of course have all the characteristics that we spoke about in the last lesson. So, appliances, maybe, but I tend to stay away from it. Arts, craft, and sewing, this is a good category. There's lots of good products in here. Automotive, it's decent, not the best, but I'll go ahead and include it. Babies, solid. Beauty and personal care, solid. Books, media items I don't want to sell. Camera and photo. There's some like camera accessories and stuff in here, but I'll probably start without searching in there. A lot of electronics products. Same with cell phones and accessories. I'm going to stay away. Clothing and shoes, stay away. Computers, stay out. Electronics, stay out. Food, this isn't a common category for a private label. It also goes in your body, so I'm going to stay out from this one. Health and household, home and kitchen, those are both solid. Industrial and scientific. Some in there are kind of weird, but let's go ahead and go for it. Kindle, no. Kitchen and dining, yes. Movies and TV, again, media. Musical instruments, I've found a few decent products in there. Office products is good. Patio, lawn, garden, good. Pet supplies, excellent. Stay away from media. Sports and outdoors, tools. Toys and games, stay away from video games. And watches, I'm gonna probably stay away from it now because they tend to be a little bit more complicated, okay? So these items that I've selected on, or these categories I've selected on the screen right now would be my favorite in the Amazon US marketplace. And if you're selling in one of the other marketplaces, it kind of use the same thinking of how you go about choosing these, okay? So, in these categories, like I said, there's no secret category that's way better than the rest, but the categories that I've selected here tend to have a higher probability, or there tend to be more products that meet the characteristics of the ones that I say that like I'm looking for, okay? So yeah, that's what I prefer. Like I said, there are some of these that are gated. What that means is you have to request approval for Amazon to sell in them. So some of these are automotive and power sports, collectible coins, entertainment, collectibles, fine art, gift cards, jewelry, music and DVD, major appliances, sports collectibles, streaming media, video, and watches. So if we think about that big picture, a lot of it's art and media items. But in addition to that, there's high value items like jewelry and watches, and major appliances is in that section as well. And if you're ever not sure whether or not a category is gated for you, after you sign up for Seller Central, you can add a product. And I can actually just show you how to do this right now. If you're ever not sure whether or not a product's gated for you, you can go into Catalog, Add Products, click right here. I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon. You can search for it right here. So let's try to search for, let's just say watch, okay? And it shows me right here, request approval. So that means that this is gated for me. And depending on which category it is, there's different requirements to get ungated. Whereas like this one right here, let's see, I am not gated in this. It's letting me create a listing here, okay? So if you ever are not sure, then this is how you can easily check whether or not you're gated in that particular category. So that sums up this lesson. Like I said, you know, all those categories that I showed you, those are the ones that I prefer to sell in. And, you know, I would, in general, unless you find a product that you really, really love and is really, really amazing, I would probably start with a product that is not gated, just because it's like one less hoop for you to have to jump through when you're getting started. And, you know, the emotional aspect and the momentum aspect and the mindset aspect is, I believe, extremely important for entrepreneurs trying to get started. And if you hit road bumps like that along the way, it's more easy to get discouraged, which we don't want. It's really, really important for me for you to go through all this and succeed. So I'm going to try to set this up as well as I can so that, you know, there's no road bumps along the way and you get up and you create that business that you really want. So I'll see you in the next lesson where I'll show you a real life example of me searching for a product inside of Jungle Scout's product database.